Hi, I'm Michelle Pratt. I'm the owner of Safe in the Seat, and I'm a nationally certified car seat safety technician. And today we're going to talk a little bit about how can we help keep your kids cool in the car. It is so hot outside. I actually have a thermometer here that I keep in my car. So right now this reads 94 degrees. It is an overcast day. It's probably in the low 80s right now, and I was driving my car not too long ago, so the air was on, but it's already 94 degrees in the car. For a lot of us, I get a lot of questions about the lack of air vents in the back and what do we do for our kids to keep them cool. So a couple of tips that I want to share with you. The first is anything that you can do to block the sun from your car will help. It won't be the only thing. For example, you can't just park in the shade and expect that the inside of your car will be cool, but it's one of the things you can do. You can also make sure that if your windows can be tinted, I would tint them, or you can use one of those flat tinting shades. Don't use a roller shade because the roller could come off and be a projectile in a crash, but the flat adhesive tints, you can use those. You can also consider using a windshield reflective cover. Those actually work better than you probably think they do. And then for the seats themselves, a lot of the seats are darker in color, so naturally they're gonna absorb more heat. You can place a towel over your seat. You could place, some of them have special car seat covers that you could place over your seat. Obviously, you're gonna do this when your kid is not in the car. So when you leave the car, you sort of place something over it to help keep it cool. So if we do what we can to block the sun from the car as much as humanly possible, it's still gonna be really hot inside. So a couple of things to do. Stay hydrated. We need to make sure we stay hydrated, our kids stay hydrated. That is gonna help their bodies to sweat, which is gonna keep their internal temperatures down. One thing that's really interesting is that our kids get hotter at a rate of 3 to 5 times faster than we do. So if we think we're hot, I can't even imagine what our kids are feeling. One idea is to take a spray bottle. So you can just pick up a spray bottle at the dollar store, and before your kids get in, spray their head, spray them down a little bit to cool them off. And then once they get in, with the combination of the release of the hot air out of the car and turning the air vents on, it will actually help them to sweat and cool down a little bit. So that's an easy tip. Just remember that once you have that spray bottle, to make sure that you secure it, because that can be a projectile as well. A couple of products that will help. This is actually, this brand is called Frog Tog, but it's a cooling mechanism. So you wet it before you get in the car or before you go anywhere, and it's cool to the touch. So this is something that you can give your children to lay over their legs, to hold at their face. They can't put it behind their neck in the seat because they can't have anything between them and the back of the seat. But it definitely helps to cool them down. This is just a great product to have in general. The other thing that is on the market, it's called the Noggle, and it looks like a dryer vent. It attaches to your front seat air vent, and you route it through to the back into either your rear facing or your forward facing car seat, and it literally projects the air into the back. As a car seat safety technician, we feel like you should try all of these techniques. That's obviously another piece of equipment in your car, but it's covered in fabric and it is soft and safe, and it definitely helps to get the air pushed towards the back. The other thing that is just a simple tip, I actually just learned this and I'm trying to apply it now. When you get in the car, a lot of times I'll just blast my air and my windows are up. Better technique, put your windows down and turn your air all the way up. It allows the hot air to escape while the cool air gets going. So that's something to try when you're just trying to get the whole entire car at a temperature that you and your kids can manage. After you have your car somewhat cooled, the other thing that you can do is take your front air vents and point them up. So you want to point the air vents up towards the ceiling so the air starts to flow towards the back, and keep your windows cracked a little bit. It'll continue to allow the hot air to escape. One thing that I do want to cover is what you cannot do. So those are all good tips that you can do to help regulate your kids' temperature, your own temperature in the car. But here's something that I'm getting a lot of questions about. So there are aftermarket products like this that people are asking if they can put in their seats. These are readily available. as with any aftermarket product, the blanket statement is we can't use them. This one is one of those, we can't use them in the car seat. Like I said earlier, we don't want anything to be between the harness straps and the child. So please don't use these while you are actively using the car seat. Where you can use this, if you feel like you want it, is in an infant carrier outside of the seat, in a stroller. If you feel like this breathable technology is going to help make your child cooler, feel free to use it outside of the car, but do not use it while you actively have your child secured in the car. So I hope that some of these tips will help keep you and your children cooler in the summer. I know that it is a lot already to get your kids in and out of the car, and especially when we all are sweating and wrangling to get them in there. But we want to get the temperatures manageable and try some of these tips and techniques to get the car where we can safely ride in it.